You already know what it feels like. That moment your alarm goes off and instead of feeling rested, you feel like you got hit by a truck. Your eyes are heavy, your body aches, your mind is foggy, and the first thought you have is not gratitude or excitement. It is dread, pure exhausting dread, and you have not even gotten out of bed yet. That feeling is not just tiredness, that is something deeper. That is your body telling you that something went wrong while you were supposed to be recovering. And if you have been living like this for weeks, months, maybe even years, you need to hear what I am about to share because it is going to change everything. Here is the thing most people never realize. The problem is not how long you sleep. You can sleep 8, 9, even 10 hours and still wake up feeling completely destroyed. The real issue is the quality of your deep sleep. Specifically, what happens during those critical hours when your brain is supposed to be doing the most important repair work of your entire day. And right now, for millions of people, that process is broken. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine your brain at night like a crew of workers who come in after hours to clean up a massive office building. They are supposed to mop the floors, fix the broken equipment, restock the shelves, and make everything perfect for tomorrow. But what if every single night those workers only get to stay for 20 minutes before they are kicked out? The mess piles up, day after day, week after week, and eventually the building stops functioning properly. That is exactly what is happening inside your brain when you are not getting deep sleep. The cleanup crew never finishes the job, and the consequences are not small. People who consistently miss deep sleep stages report concentration levels that drop by as much as 40%. Reaction times slow down. Emotional regulation falls apart, which is why everything feels so overwhelming and irritating by noon. Your metabolism starts to malfunction, your immune system weakens, your cortisol spikes, and your entire hormonal system starts sending distress signals. But here is what nobody tells you. The most painful part of chronic sleep deprivation is not the physical stuff. It is what it does to your identity. You stop being the person you used to be. The sharp, energetic, ambitious version of yourself starts fading. You cancel plans because you are too tired. You snap at the people you love most. You watch opportunities pass you by because your brain simply does not have the bandwidth to reach for them. That version of yourself that used to be so alive starts feeling like a distant memory. And the worst part is that you probably blame yourself. You think you just need more willpower, more discipline. Maybe one more cup of coffee will fix it. Maybe you just need to go to bed earlier. But you have tried those things, and they did not work. Because the problem is not behavioral, the problem is biological, and it requires a completely different approach. Now, I want to pause here for just a second because what I am about to share next is going to feel like missing puzzle pieces clicking into place. And if you are someone who has genuinely been suffering with broken sleep for a long time, there is actually something we have linked in the description of this video that goes far deeper than anything I can cover here. Thousands of people have already used it to completely rewire their sleep from the inside out. Do not scroll past it. Not today. Because every single night you spend not fixing this is another night of damage stacking up inside your body. The people who are thriving right now are not necessarily smarter or luckier than you. They just got the right information first. Okay, now let us talk about what is actually sabotaging your deep sleep, because once you understand this, you will never look at your bedtime routine the same way again. Stage 3, sleep, which scientists call slow-wave sleep, is the deepest and most restorative phase of your entire sleep cycle. This is where your brain consolidates memories, your body releases the majority of its growth hormone, your cells repair damage, and your immune system mounts its strongest defenses. This stage typically happens in the first half of your night, and most adults only get somewhere between 15 and 20% of their total sleep in this phase. That might sound okay until you realize that modern lifestyle factors are cutting that percentage in half for a massive portion of the population. Blue light from screens, alcohol before bed, eating too close to midnight, unresolved stress, room temperature being just a few degrees too warm, even certain completely legal, extremely common medications. All of these disrupt the architecture of your sleep in ways you cannot feel in real time but absolutely feel when you wake up. Here is the brutal truth about alcohol. So many people use it as a way to wind down and fall asleep faster. And it works technically. You do fall asleep faster. But what it is actually doing is suppressing your REM sleep and fragmenting your deep sleep stages so severely that even a single drink within 3 hours of bedtime can reduce your slow-wave sleep by up to 25%. You wake up having slept 8 hours and feeling like you slept 2. And stress is even more sinister. When your cortisol levels remain elevated late into the evening, your brain cannot properly transition into those deeper stages. You end up stuck in the lighter stages of sleep, cycling through half-conscious moments of near wakefulness all night long, never fully diving down into that restorative darkness your body desperately needs. But here is where the story shifts. Because this is fixable, not in months, not in weeks. People who implement the right strategies consistently report feeling dramatically different within 3 to 5 nights. We are talking about waking up and feeling that rare sensation of actual physical lightness, eyes that open without resistance, a mind that is clear from the moment consciousness returns, that thing you probably have not felt in so long that you forgot it was even possible. Your body has an incredible system called sleep pressure. The longer you are awake, the more adenosine, a sleep-inducing chemical, builds up in your brain. When you finally sleep, your body clears it out. But when your deep sleep is disrupted, the clearance is incomplete. You wake up still carrying yesterday's chemical fatigue. When you fix deep sleep, the clearance becomes complete, and you experience what researchers describe as genuine cognitive restoration. People describe it as having their personality back, their patience returns, their creativity returns, their sense of humor comes back. It is not dramatic, it is everything. And here is something that will genuinely shock you. The relationship between deep sleep and your physical body is so profound that studies have shown people who consistently achieve quality deep sleep maintain healthier body composition, even without changing their diet. Because deep sleep regulates ghrelin and leptin, the hormones that control hunger and satiety. When those hormones are balanced, cravings disappear. Overeating drops naturally. Energy for movement increases. It is not magic. It is biology working the way it was designed to work when given the conditions it needs. Let us talk about temperature, because this one small change alone transforms sleep quality for a massive number of people. Your core body temperature needs to drop by approximately 1 to 1.5 degrees Celsius to initiate and maintain deep sleep. Most bedrooms are far too warm for this process to occur properly. The optimal sleeping temperature for most people sits between 16 and 19 degrees Celsius, which is roughly 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit. Cooling your room by just 2 or 3 degrees can extend your deep sleep stages by up to 30% in some individuals, just that one change. And light exposure both at night and in the morning is equally powerful. Bright light first thing in the morning, ideally natural sunlight, locks your circadian rhythm to a precise biological clock that then dictates exactly when your brain begins producing melatonin at night. When that rhythm is locked in and consistent, your sleep architecture becomes dramatically more organized. You spend more time in deep stages. You spend more time in REM. You wake up at the right moment in your cycle, which is why you feel refreshed instead of groggy. There is also the relationship between magnesium and deep sleep that most people have never been told about. Magnesium glycinate specifically plays a critical role in activating the parasympathetic nervous system and regulating neurotransmitters that allow the brain to quiet down. Research suggests that a significant portion of the population is deficient in magnesium, and that deficiency directly correlates with increased nighttime cortisol and reduced time in deep sleep stages. Supplementing appropriately has shown measurable improvements in sleep quality, particularly in slow-wave sleep duration. Breathwork before bed is another overlooked strategy with genuinely remarkable science behind it. Slowing your breathing rate to approximately 5 to 6 breaths per minute activates the vagus nerve, lowers heart rate variability in a restorative direction, and signals to your entire nervous system that it is safe to fully let go. People who practice even 10 minutes of this before sleep consistently report falling into deep sleep faster and waking fewer times during the night. Think about what your life looks like on the other side of this. You wake up and the very first sensation is not dread but possibility. Your focus is sharp. Your mood is stable. The things that used to feel unbearable start feeling manageable. You show up differently in your relationships. You show up differently in your work. You look different. You feel different. And the people around you notice it before you even say a word. This is not a fantasy. This is what sleep was always supposed to feel like. And the fact that you have gone so long without it is not your fault. But staying stuck is a choice you make every single day you decide not to change something. The average person spends around 2,500 hours per year asleep. If even a fraction of that time is spent in restorative deep sleep rather than fragmented shallow cycling, the return on that investment across every area of your life is incalculable. Your health, your relationships, your output, your emotional resilience, everything compounds. If you are serious about making this change and not just watching another video and doing nothing, the link in the description is where you go next. Everything we have talked about today only scratches the surface of what is in there. The people who are already using it are waking up transformed. Not eventually. Now. And the only difference between them and where you are right now is one decision. Go check the description. Make it tonight.